Seifert. We're going to have a little chat here about my early days in the service and how I got there, and some of the little features, some heartbreakers, maybe we enjoy some questions if anyone wants to ask a question.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, I know that you enlisted.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity, you knew that you were going to be pretty close. Where did you go for basic training?
Oregon.
Adair?
Hmm?
Adair?
Adair.
Fort Adair?
Fort Adair, Oregon, and that was an infantry
Yeah.
training?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an established
Army post.
post. And, it was pretty primitive. Actually, getting there from Dayton to Oregon was almost a week with a train that stretched out for miles, and then we'd go for a couple of days, or it seemed like a couple of days, and then be held up and then start up again.
Was this primarily a troop train, or was
It was a troop train. It was a troop train. It was, I don't know what other units were on there. Actually, it was building up. All the people actually weren't going to the same place. Some parts of the train were going on to other places. But I wound up in near Salem, Adair.
So on the troop train, they fed you obviously. Did they have a food car, or was it already Army food?
No, it was Army food, and it was quite a bit of it was really good. And then there were some things that were not too good, but what the hell, we had to eat, so I myself can't say that there was anything wrong with it. Probably in the days when we had to watch the bread line, and
So you enlisted in 1942. You were already married, and you were living in Dayton, Kentucky, and you had children at that time?
we had one.
One child, possibly?
After after you left,
Yeah,
I was pregnant with her.
she was, yeah.
So the Army in itself didn't ever distinguish between whether a person was needed to be at home or you had to do your duty to the country.
No.
And probably it was a good thing that it worked that way. The reason I say this is because the government knew that this was going to be a long war, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think they knew that more so than the general public?
Absolutely. We had a lot of the things prepared. It seemed funny that little hometown boys going in there and seeing all that stuff pulled into the camp, and there was a whole lot of riding horses around there. And the next day they were gone. We weren't going to get no riding horses. So,
That was probably for the cavalry, wouldn't you think? The horses were for
Oh,
the cavalry,
yeah,
and then they
yeah.
shipped them to somewhere else.
there was an attachment of that.
Yeah.
Or ask him about Fort Thomas. Did you sign up at Fort Thomas?
No.
Fort Thomas Barracks?
Where did you enlist?
At the barracks?
No, I went over to Cincinnati. I did some of the paperwork there, but I wound up in Fort Thomas for a couple of days.
Processing, I guess.
Yeah.
And then that's where you got on the train. They took you to a train station
Yeah.
from Fort Thomas.
Yeah, well.
Probably the main line.
They had other sections that they were picking up along the way and making the train quite long. As a matter of fact, when going around some bends, we could see some of the guys that we boarded with, and sucker, you could,
Yeah.
you know where you're going. No, do you?
And see, that was kind of an interesting thing because everybody was drafted. You're
Yeah.
treated equal at that point.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, whether they throw darts or, some of the testing that you do,
Mhm.
this theoretically puts you in a group, whether you're going to be infantry or artillery or whatever. And I
Mhm.
often thought sometimes they misjudge people because they'd ask if a guy has a driver's license and they'd give him a wheelbar, and maybe that was just
That was
a
the
cheap
old
trick.
joke.
Yeah.
But
I think
it was
most
funny.
people that got drafted eventually, after they were processed and they were given a destination,
Yeah.
basic training then started with that unit. You trained with a whole bunch of people in basic.
Right.
You knew any of them before?
None. Just a high from a few that were on the train.
Uh-huh.
But you went in cold turkey. It was them and us, and they called, when you say called your name or a number, you respond, and went from there.
Yeah. Now, how long was basic training?
I think it was about 3 months. There was quite a thing in getting oriented with the where to go for different things, to sign in for clothes and being measured, and haircuts and all that were all done along the way. But getting up into Oregon, we thought, hell, we might be going to Canada or Alaska. But we wound up in Oregon, good old Camp Adair.
So how long were you at Camp Adair before you actually went overseas?
I think it was about a year.
Uh-huh. So that would make 1943 by the
Yeah,
time you were
yeah.
deployed.
Yeah.
And
But
did you?
we had in all the field work, you were told to act just exactly like you would be behaving and working if the enemy was ahead of you.
Absolutely. Now, how did you go overseas? Troop transport?
Yeah, there was a couple of outfits. I think the motorized people, I think they had a ship. I went over on the Washington.
And it was designated as a troop carrier?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Had it been
Yeah,
an
it was
electric
made up.
ship before that?
It was, I think it was used quite a bit before they picked us up.
The Washington.
Yeah.
And where did you leave from?
The George Washington. Left from New York.
So you were in Adair, out,
Oh, hell, we was out.
and then you had to take a train back to New York to go across to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess that's the closest line. I'm starting to think that maybe you left from San Francisco or something like that.
No.
That would still have been,
No.
but you were going toward Europe, and that would have been the opposite
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
So how many days were you on the ocean?
I think that was about a week. And we were packed with a regular bunk and maybe 2 layers above that. You're lucky if you got a cot by yourself or not in a rack like
Right.
I was.
So everything you owned probably was in a sea bag or
Right.
a duffel bag type of thing?
Right, yeah.
And you were expected
Very,
to...
very little travel equipment.
Right.
You started out with your field garments and shoes, another pair of shoes, and course, your toiletries,
Sure.
luckily you'd find somebody and say, oh boy, you got long hair or something like that now.
Somebody'd have a pair of scissors, yeah.
Chop some of that off. Hell no, you're going to have to take it with you.
Right. How many people were on that boat? Was it a battalion? Was it a company? A division?
Yeah, it was biggest part of the division.
And what division was that?
That was still 104th.
104th Infantry Division.
Yeah.
And they primarily had training areas
Yeah,
besides?
my regiment was 414.
Uh-huh. So your company name was A, B, C, D, E, F? One of those?
I don't think there was a single number.
Uh-huh. A lot of times infantry companies go by
yeah.
letter.
Letters.
And sometimes
yeah, I
headquarters.
was always, now they come back, L Company. I think that it went by alphabet.
Okay. Well, I see here you have the Silver Star Award. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that? I can read it, but I'd rather hear it from your voice.
Well,
It's not an easy task to get a Silver Star. That's
well, it's
significant in
some
the Army
ways
life.
you were considered a ass kisser if you buddied up with somebody with little authority or more authority than you, but after a while, all that kind of bump would go away, and you got down to. We knew this was going to be a job, our job, so we went at it like it was our job. We done different things.
Now, was this in France?
Yeah.
And do you remember the city in France?
No. We were on the border of France and Germany.
Right. Well, I'm going to read a few excerpts here. Basically, you were on a street, and you, sergeant, being a sergeant, led the light machine gun squad against the threatened point and directed fire against the attacking forces. And then, with complete disregard for his personal safety, he moved to an exposed position and fired rifle grenades at the advancing enemy troops and forced them to withdraw. So, having got rid of all your grenades and stuff like that, what was your second plan?
Well, get back with your friends and neighbors,
Yes.
and keep your powder dry.
Absolutely. Now, I'm going to hold this up. This is a collection of his memorabilia, and the silver rifle on the blue background is called the Combat Infantryman's Badge. And for most people in the Army, this is a very sacred and trusted, you have achieved 30 or 40 days in enemy territory, and it's highly regarded. Now, the Silver Star, and we also have a Bronze Star here, I think.
That's the first one.
Okay, well, you got more. These are actually his awards. The three straps on this side signify a E5, a buck sergeant, and that's usually a team leader or a squad leader. The one with the one rocker is a staff sergeant, and you have achieved a higher rank of leadership, and you usually are a platoon sergeant, or you have 4 or 5 squads under you. And by the time you get 3 up, 3 down, and this little diamond in the middle, that means you're the first sergeant, the highest ranking NCO that the Army has.
Of an infantry company.
Of an infantry company. Now, how many years did it take you to get to be a first sergeant?
Maybe a year and a half.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. And on this gathering of rifles, and it tells you what he qualified under, this is the highest marksmanship you can get, the wreath with the crossed rifles, that would be expert. He is an expert in rifle, machine gun, and automatic rifle. That would be the BAR, right? The
Yep.
Browning automatic rifle.
That was the least work, because the gun at that time was just a damn heavy, and they loaded you down with so much ammunition
Right.
that you have always had your team member, one of them,
Yeah, they had one guy just carrying your ammo.
bring the ammo, make damn sure that it was always there.
The gun itself was a very heavy gun,
Oh my!
and it had a tripod in the front.
Yeah.
That tripod basically, there were some guys that they thought, well, I've got more firepower here.
Right.
I want this rifle. But then after they carried it about
Yeah.
4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
they realized maybe somebody
Let's
else should have been.
Trade off. Come on, give me BAR or whatever you had.
So you were using probably an M1?
Yeah, most of it. And then as I progressed in grade, I got not a BAR. I actually don't remember too much carrying a BAR. I skipped around that.
Well, you qualified for it, so that was...
Yeah.
Now, the second star that was on your medals there, how did you get that one? Or was the second one the one we were just talking about?
I don't know.
Well, you had more stars than most generals, so that's a good sign. After you were in France,
Yeah.
how long were you there? You were there for the duration of the war till
No.
after we... No?
No, we went on down. We went west and then down. We had to cross the river. When we went into Le Havre,
And that was a big seaport. It was a pretty big river there, wasn't it?
oh yeah.
And did you cross in barges, or was there a bridge when you actually crossed that river?
No, I think we had went in
Troop transport trucks or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
So you would have, then
I
from
think
there...
there was a bridge up, I think,
Uh-huh.
still. I don't know.
So when you were in the Europe front, and you were, that's where you had won your Silver Star, after the war ended, you came back home immediately, or were you still in the service for a while?
Yeah, we
Occupied Germany.
yeah, when we left there, we came home and went out to California. That's where I was.
So would that have been Fort Ord,
I think it was.
near San Francisco?
Yeah, no, more down for
Down to work middle.
more central part of California, and that's where that's where I was discharged.
Okay. So how did you get home then? By train?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they gave us a good ride home.
No good.
Wound up in. That took a couple of days, and we wound up in Covington. The rest is a blank.
Well, somebody probably came to pick you up.
Yeah, yeah.
Communication was a big problem. I know most people
Yeah.
could only communicate by writing, and if you could get to a telephone, it was
Yeah.
possible to leave a message. Is it possible you did that to
Yeah.
get back home?
Yeah.
And when you came home, did you kind of take life a little easy for a while, or did you immediately
I
go
don't
back to
know.
work?
Oh, I
A lot of
went back
people
to
just
work.
jump back into work.
I went back and there was some bench work that I was doing. Was still there.
John said earlier it was like he enlisted, he left Vulcan manufacturing, and when he came back, he went back to the same job as if there was a little time frame, but right back to the same thing. And the Vulcan people manufactured evaporative equipment, copper coils and things like that for air conditioning and refrigeration and whatever.
Exfoliation.
And how many years did you work there?
I had worked there about 4 years before the war.
So you started about when you were 16 years old?
No, I was older than that.
Okay.
I think it was 18.
Okay, I was doing mental math there, and I
Yeah.
was thinking you were born in 22 and you got drafted in 42. Is that accurate?
Yeah, yeah.
So you were working at Vulcan, and then you were in the service how long?
I think a little over 2 years, I
Okay.
think. I don't
So that's
know.
what-
I'd have to look it up.
Okay. A lot of times I know people that were drafted, and see, drafted is a little bit different than enlisted. And
Oh, yeah.
when you're enlisted, you're promised X. When you're drafted, most of them were drafted for the duration.
Yeah.
They had, some guys were drafted long before the war started,
Right.
and they didn't get out till 1946. So
Yeah.
you had 2 years, better than 2 years, maybe 3.
Oh, yeah,
And then you came back and went to work at Vulcan.
yeah.
And how long did you work there in your career?
They folded up.
Oh.
They just
You outlasted them.
ran out. I was one of the.
Well, those things happen, you know. You were fortunate that you were able to get back to your job, and you raised your family. Now, how many children did you have? 6? Yep, 6. And I'm going to mention their names here. Blanche is with us. She's your oldest child, and then John.
John.
Robert is here with us also.
Mhm.
Donald has a website that we're going to try to get on so we can see some of your war history. Anna Marie married Ron Smith, and then there's Alan. And how many grandchildren do you have?
Oh, my goodness.
Can't count them on 5 fingers and toes. Quite a few, huh?
There's a bunch.
Mm.
So I'm sure family gatherings is quite an exciting moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
It can't be held here anymore.
Now, do you sneak into the bedroom where you can have peace and quiet periodically? That's a loaded
Not too
question.
much.
No?
What?
You probably enjoy your...
I didn't hear what you said.
I asked if he sneaks off to get away from the noise of grandchildren and great-grandchildren and whatever.
No, I wish
No,
he would.
No, he says he
sometime.
stays out here. That's good. That's good.
He
I'm
hangs
gonna-
pretty close to around here.
Okay. Now, Betty, I've got a couple of questions for you.
Mm.
You've been married over 70 years.
Yep.
Yeah. And you lived in Dayton and Bellevue, and now you're in Highland Heights. Was there some other city that you... Fort Thomas?
Fort Thomas.
Okay, and that's where you pretty well raised your family, in Fort Thomas?
Yeah. Did we?
Mostly
Some of
Dayton.
Dayton.
Mostly Dayton.
Uh-huh.
Oh, in Dayton,
Dayton.
Kentucky,
Oh,
too.
Dayton, you weren't in Bellevue? Kind of hard to tell when you leave one part of that town to the next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you live there, people take it
Yeah.
very personal.
Which-
I lived in Dayton for a little while too, and I lived right on the avenue, not to interfere with his story, but my car was vandalized 3 times on the avenue, so I figured
You
it was
were
time,
lucky.
yeah, it was time for me to move back out to the country.
What
So-
were you driving?
I was driving an Oldsmobile, just a pretty nice car, I thought, but the
Yeah.
neighbors thought it was just as nice. So Betty, when you were in Fort Thomas, were you involved in the school PTA or anything like that?
No.
No.
No,
There was only
she,
one, the youngest child.
Was in the Fort Thomas system?
Yeah, the rest of us had already,
Already out and about?
yeah.
Well, anyhow, Fort Thomas is now, it's the home of the military domicile, a place where older veterans can live and things like that. But that was a pretty active post when you lived in Fort Thomas, wasn't it? Were there a
yeah.
lot of soldiers still in town?
Yeah, Veterans Hospital was there. They had maintenance people, I guess, or.
Yes. Well, I guess the heyday of Fort Thomas military,
Oh, that was gone.
that was in the 1880s till about 1920 or 30. It was sort of the headquarters of the Army of the Northwest.
Yeah,
And that was everything east of west of the Ohio River, pretty
Yeah.
much.
yeah.
And it was a training thing, and it was also a transportation company.
Yep.
And I know at one point there were, you mentioned horses earlier, it was a training area for the cavalry.
Yep.
And I know that when you were at Fort Thomas, you probably didn't do any rifle. You were just being inducted or paperwork and medicals and things like that.
Hit Newport, that's where we,
Yeah.
up on 11th Street, got the train. By the time the trains were all put together, they reached down here across the Licking River into Covington. And they were there, they went across and then broke up and,
And see, and that's something that our younger generation will never experience. Riding on a train, and especially a troop train that is so long that it reaches practically across two cities.
yeah.
And the comfort of a train, it was not much, right?
And it wasn't so bad.
No.
I can't say it was awful, or it wasn't even, I have to say it was, for those days, it was a damn nice trip.
Yeah, and a pretty exciting trip too, I
Yeah,
would think.
sure, yeah.
In Arizona, I'm going to go back to, what was the fort out there in Oregon?
Oregon?
Fort
Adair.
Adair. Okay, when you were at Fort Adair, it was
Camp Adair. It was camp.
okay. You primarily were doing infantry type of things.
Right,
continuous.
yeah, basic, the basic,
But it obviously, you got pretty good at it to get a couple of silver stars out of this deal. Also, at
How about the weather?
the weather. How was the weather in Oregon?
Oregon was pretty nasty. Cold one day and freeze your ass off the next, but it finally,
They said it never rained and it never rained.
it never actually knew how to dress and
Yeah.
Until you got there.
Well, you're up on the northern border of the country,
yeah,
and I know there's a lot of severe temperature up there compared to northern Kentucky.
yeah, we were biting it. No chicken, no.
So did you do maneuvers out on the range? You did
Yeah.
bivouac?
In Oregon, yeah.
And what was the time frame of these bivouacs? Bivouac, for those that don't
Yeah,
understand,
yeah.
you're away from your barracks, but you're living just like you're in the combat conditions. They have field cooks, they have a bunch of tents. You and somebody else usually are in a pup tent, two people pup tent.
Yeah.
And
He carried the half, the guy carried the other half. And whenever we stopped for rest period or after doing about a 5 miler or something like that with load, back then they had all your gear on your back plus a rifle or part of a machine gun, like the air-cooled machine guns. One guy carried ammunition and part of the base for it, and the other guy carried the gun part. And it was just
Now, I'm going to also explain a little bit about this bivouac thing. You have everything that you're carrying on your back,
yeah.
but your steel pot turns out to be a cooking implement. It's where you take your bath, it's where you shave, and you had a mess kit, right?
Had
So you
mess
had to
kit?
go to the
Well,
mess tent?
I'm shoo that mighty washed your hands in what you do. I never seen anybody,
Take a bath?
yeah, actually strip down and take a bath in his helmet. That's a
It's a romantic story.
Yeah, there's always was a.
In the movies.
Well, I can assure you that some of us,
Did we?
yeah, that was the only thing that was available. And
Well.
it wasn't like you stood in the shower for 40 minutes. It was
Yeah.
like you quick wash your face under your arms,
Yeah,
put your clothes back on, and
yeah.
move back. So these bivouac, how long were you out on the range there at Camp Adair?
I think about 9 months. somewhere like that.
Well, see, it prepared you for what was going to
Sure.
happen later on.
Yeah, move up to, the next step.
Yeah. Now, you got weekends sometimes off, or maybe a half a day. Did you ever travel from there to, let's say, Oregon? That would have been, I don't know, Eugene or some of those
yeah,
other cities?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some did, but I never was too interested in getting too far away from the
From the barracks?
barracks and the camp.
Right.
I always seemed to have something to do. It wasn't a penalty or anything. It would be something that I wanted to do.
You know, we all know somebody who does something strange.
Yeah.
Now, I had a friend that volunteered for KP. You and I would never have done that.
No, but I knew.
He got plenty of food.
As a matter of fact, if I did KP once, that would have, I wouldn't be telling a lie. That I don't remember,
Doing a lot of KP.
yeah, because I became a corporal in such a short time. I could make the other guy, oh sure, KP. And I went on at,
Take a break. Stop.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, what was
Uh-oh.
that?
That's mine.
somebody stepped on the cat.
That's a cat. I like that.
How you became that top sergeant thing?
First sergeant.
First sergeant.
Well,
Remember?
Are we?
Yeah.
I
How
love
you
this
became
story.
it.
Remember how you became the first sergeant?
I can probably throw a clue in here, but you can correct me. Oh, this guy's got 2 silver stars.
No.
It's management material.
No, this was before I think he got the stars.
Okay.
Remember you said you were on leave? Or you had a little weekend furlough? And when you got back,
oh, yeah.
they called you in the
Yeah,
office.
yeah.
They said
it was a surprise thing. I didn't expect it. I knew there were men there, hell of educated 10 times more than I was. I had about a 7th grade education, and I couldn't hardly write my name. And me being a first sergeant, out of the question. And I had been somewhere and coming back, and what was?
The guy said
They called you into the office.
they called you in the office.
Oh, yeah.
He did what?
Yeah, called me in the office and
Did I hear this?
held that
Oh.
sheet of paper in front of me. I started reading it. I thought, what the hell am I reading here? And first sergeant.
Promoted to first sergeant.
Yeah, and I knew the guy Mac. He was going to go leave. He was going to get out. And me, first sergeant. Christ, I can't hardly write my name. No. Who's the head of this? Who Captain so and so and no. Oh hell no. No, corporal's sergeant's top for me. Now, I don't first sergeant. There's too much. They kept at me and you can have it. You can have it your way, any way you want it. And I don't want it that way. I didn't earn it, and somebody just pushed that shit off onto me. And
Well, the cream rises to the crop, or to the top. And that's
Yeah.
quite an accomplishment that you were the first sergeant, so I certainly want to congratulate you on that, in addition to your awards.
Thank you, thank you.
The service to our country is first and foremost, I think, that we owe a lot of respect. Now, I would like to talk a little bit about your honor flight recently that you took to Washington.
Yes.
How did they tell you about this?
Through the
Somebody-
scuttlebutt, the girls, but Reed,
Yeah, my sister.
yeah.
She found out about it.
she got wind of it and knew somebody. And, oh, Pop, you go on this trip? And I said, I know. I had enough trip. But it turned out to be a
Now,
nice thing. And
You left very early in the morning, right?
Yeah, we was there. We had to be there, I think, 5 o'clock. And we pulled out about light, maybe 6 o'clock. And went all the way up there, and that's about all I can say.
Well,
about
they
it.
took you up there, then you got to go to a lot of memorials, a lot of monuments.
Yes, I did.
How many people were you allowed to take?
Just one.
One, a caregiver.
Yeah,
Okay, and who went with you?
my son,
Okay,
Donnie.
Donnie went.
And, yeah.
Did you make him buy lunch?
Oh, they fed them.
I would think so.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It's a very first-class operation, isn't it?
Oh, my, yeah.
And I think they're showing their respect for,
Oh, it was first class all the way. I was dumbfounded. Why me?
well, you deserve it, that's why.
I think the homecoming was,
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh,
that was,
yeah, it,
Oh,
And it was
wow.
very late,
it was late, yeah.
so
Late.
you had a very big, long day.
About 9, 10.
Give me that on your phone? Tony?
oh, it's in this book.
So
Put my-
you had no idea there was going to be such a grand homecoming.
Oh, no. No, hell no. No,
And I understand the Cincinnati Fire and Police Bagpipe Corps was there.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that accurate?
yeah, oh, yeah.
Pretty moving, isn't it?
Yeah, God,
I think
We
he
all-
was,
We all came out to see it.
yeah, I think he was
I was surprised.
so surprised that she was there. That Mom stayed up that long.
What?
I think he was so surprised to see her there.
Well, long day.
Yeah.
And there must have been 400 or 500 people there, wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah.
That came to see
Yeah.
various people coming back.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's kind of how I
School
got
groups,
involved.
yeah.
I saw your sign, Welcome Home, John, WW2 vet, and we, in this county, there's so many people that we don't know who have served their country and have done good things for the business world and whatever. We're just trying to recognize those, and we take every opportunity. So, what was your feeling when you got back?
Oh, I was crazy. I just,
I know there weren't very many dry eyes in the crowd for anybody. It's just such
it,
a moving experience when
It
they're on the
was
flight.
unreal.
Oh,
Now, did you travel in a wheelchair most of the time you were there? I see it's in a.
yeah.
It's not exactly a wheelchair. It looks like it's a.
Travel dog.
Yeah, like a jitney type
Yeah,
of thing. That's,
yeah. Just a push cart.
yeah, push cart. That's a good word
Yeah.
for it. But anyhow, were you ever wounded? I didn't
No.
notice. No.
No.
Well, good for you.
No.
The amount of time that you spent in the military, and especially having read that thing for the Silver Star, the amount of enemy fire that you sustained, and you actually volunteered to be the person repelling the enemy counterattack as your men were moving back. And I know I forgot to ask you, did you actually run out of grenades
Yeah.
on your grenade launching thing? And then you were just hoping to get back at that point.
We had a breakdown with the gun. I think it was too damn hot. And after a while, I get my hand burned a couple of times. It's still
Yeah.
hot.
And see, that's the things that most people don't understand about being in the military. Sometimes you have to go above and beyond the common sense things. And I'm not saying it's not common sense, but to hold a gun that's burning your hands, that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude. So I thank you again for that
Thank you.
fortitude. Your family has grown up here. and they were with you for this honor flight return. Is there anything you would like to share now about your experiences in the military, in the work field, and this honor flight? You know, I know that all three of those things are pretty much highlights, and the birth of your children. Is there anything, I know you have some interesting stories about you and your buddies that maybe pulled some jokes on some people when you were in Europe?
I can't.
You didn't become king of France or anything, did you?
No.
Okay. See, that's the one thing that I remember about the military. Even though sometimes your life was somewhat miserable, you had friends who would do anything for you, which kind of
Always.
took a little of that misery away,
Absolutely.
and humor seemed to be the thing. So do you
Yeah,
have
we
any-
had guys that you would die laughing. They could keep you in stitches. Crazy stories and gibberish and
Yeah, there was always a lot of,
making fun of different ones and
sure. There were always semi-talented people, I'll say, in the
Yeah.
military. Some people could sing, some couldn't. But
Yeah.
we paid a great deal of respect and interest to those who were trying to entertain us. But
Mhm.
was that pretty much the fact with you too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anybody want to help? They were just weren't brown nosing or
Right.
getting ahead. They wanted to make it easy for me, and
Now, do you keep in contact with anybody that you were in the service with?
no. That's a terrible thing to say.
You got that one guy that calls you.
Art Sorensen?
Well, it is not a terrible thing to say because your life boils around 7 or 8 or 10 people, or in your case, a company of people. And then when you're back in the civilian life, everybody's going a different direction.
Yeah,
And we didn't have cell phones in those days.
right.
So it was a big deal to track somebody down or call them.
Yeah.
But the one
There was-
person that called you, is he from around here or pretty far away?
No, actually, I don't know why I don't.
You did have that one guy, that Art.
Art Sorensen?
Sorensen?
Yeah, he calls you. You talk to him at least once a year, don't you?
Well, there may be some people that's going to call you
Yeah.
when they see you on cable.
I think Art died.
Art
Did he?
possibly did.
I think.
Well, it's kind of hard to keep track of
No.
everybody over, you know, World War II ended a long time ago, and unfortunately, the younger generation is not aware of that time frame when people just gave so much of their life. You give away 4 years of your life for your friends in your country, and a commitment now is a pretty hard thing. So I again thank you for your commitment to the
Thank you.
United States.
Thank you.
And for your family, your commitment to your family, your commitment to your job, your commitment to just being part of the community here.
Yeah.
And we're honored that you were able to allow us to come into your beautiful home and
Thank you.
interview you. I know there's always one more thing that you would probably like to say, but
No.
you don't have anything to say? Okay.
No.
Well, you can address me as a first sergeant and me being a buck sergeant, and you can dismiss me or you can do whatever you have to do. That is an honor. I mean, the short of time that you were in the service to become a first sergeant, I'm impressed with that.
Yeah.
But we also know that the need, and I'm sure, as I said earlier, the cream comes to the top. You're a leader. You're a leader in
Did
this
you get a
life.
good look at that big picture, at the long one?
We'll probably take a picture of that.
We're good?